This is Predator Raw. We rent a house. Our people wire it with hidden cameras and microphones. Volunteers from the online watchdog group Perverted Justice act as decoys, go into chat rooms with a profile that includes a picture that's unmistakably underage, and they sit and wait. And the next thing you know, the guy is knocking on our door, trying to have a sexual liaison with a 12, 13, or 14-year-old boy or girl. What's great about going back to the raw tapes is we can look at things that give us a better idea of how these guys' minds work. Why does a 56-year-old man on his lunch hour walk into a house where he thinks a 13-year-old boy is home alone? How do you get there? Initially, you look at it, okay, we'll take some of this from this guy, some of this from that guy. We only have an hour. This is an opportunity to dig a little deeper, to look a little closer, and to understand who these guys are. Fairfax County, Virginia was significant. It was our second investigation. We had a better house, arguably a better location. I was more comfortable. You know, you're always a little bit anxious, but at least my heart wasn't in my throat the whole time. I could breathe just hours into the investigation. The first visitor came bounding in like he owned the place. I mean, this guy sent photos of himself performing oral sex on another man to somebody he thought was 13. And like so many of the other men who ultimately visited us in Fairfax County, Virginia, this guy was a prominent member of society.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, hold on a second, I gotta change my shirt, yeah?
Okay.
It's still day, go on me. I gotta ask, you still gonna be up for tonight after seeing your girlfriend?
We'll see.
The level of comfort we see by watching these guys before I have my interaction says to me they're either very comfortable taking part in this activity, or they've done it before, or they've spent so much time chatting online with someone they think is a teen that they don't believe there's any danger at all. Now, earlier in the chat, he had talked about going out to dinner with his girlfriend and then perhaps coming over to meet the boy after that. And just as he finishes that ha ha ha, he turns around and I walk into the room. And you see this physical reaction on his part. And he knows that his life is about to change. So how can I help you? Go ahead, have a seat. I suggest you sit down. And take your hands out of your pockets, please. What are you doing here?
Not something good.
Why don't you tell me what your plan was?
I don't want to be. This isn't good.
Not good? I think that's kind of an understatement, isn't it?
Can I know who you are, please?
I want to know a little bit more about why you were here first.
I'd like to see some identification.
Now, I don't want to lie to him, but I don't want to let him know I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC just yet. Well, I'm happy to tell you who I am, but I also want to go over some of this chat log with you. It appears from this that you were setting up a meeting with a 13-year-old boy. Okay, you're only 13. Yep, 13. For a 13-year-old, you handle yourself pretty well. Yes, you are very cute, and when boys are that cute, they usually look like their moms. So you pretty much thought you were coming here to meet a 13-year-old boy named Conrad.
I have a transcript of an email.
Do you have anything to say for yourself? I like sucking and being sucked. I like to kiss. And now I'm getting ready to ask him what he does for a living. I already know, but I want to hear it from him. What do you do for a living?
A rabbi.
A rabbi. Now, presumably, you counsel families and children in your position as a rabbi.
Sure.
Children.
30 years.
What are you doing as a man of God, as a rabbi, in this house, trying to meet a 13-year-old boy?
I'm really I don't want to do anything that's going to further make you angry.
Oh, I'm not angry.
You're coming across in a very angry and authoritative sense. I've asked you for identification as to who you are, and you've yet to show it to me. Right now, all that's happened is that I'm sitting in a house.
And you
somebody.
sent pornographic pictures through the mail.
So,
okay, that's a federal offense right there.
Look, you know I'm in trouble, and I know I'm in trouble. I am not interested in getting any further in trouble. This is not something that I've done.
You've never done this before. You know, because I hear that a lot. You see a reaction on his face, and that pretty much seals the deal. He wants to know right then and there who I am. And so I tell him.
I don't understand why I can't have some identification.
I'm more than happy to tell you who I am. I am Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on computer predators.
Oh, no. Come on,
You don't want to touch anybody. You don't want to. It was really one of the only time really, where somebody actually physically lunged at me. Now, looking back, I really don't think I was in much danger. But you can see how the security system works. Our guy stepped in, took care of it, and diffused the situation.
You've got to stop this.
Sit down. Sit down.
You don't have any
You're
right
free to leave any time. We got phone calls from him for months, and he was downright mean. He blamed us for his situation, and we offered him the chance to do an interview. He initially said yes, but only if we didn't show the video from the house, didn't show his face, or identify what he did for a living. And obviously, those were conditions we could not meet. In this investigation, unlike the more recent ones, we did not have police doing a parallel investigation. These guys walked away. We did, however, interview the Fairfax County, Virginia police afterwards, and Perverted Justice supplied police with the chat logs. So ultimately, a lot of these guys were prosecuted.